after Manmohan. And he promised them, I'll do something for you. What is something for you? I'll make it applicable for the whole country. And it would enable, if Jeevan Reddy report was implemented, it would enable the armed forces to intervene in any state in the country. Like they're doing today actually. It must have been there must have been long-term planning when they got together that team to do that. And then of course we have some very, I must say this is rather controversial, but I'll say it anyway. There were some prominent human rights activists and so on who actually put forward the argument, I was aghast, that once the whole of the country realized that this is such a pernicious act and everybody gets terrorized, then India will rise its pole, and fight against this act and so on. Therefore it's good. And I was surprised. There are very prominent human rights activists who are very active in doing fact findings and fact finding reports and killings and so on in Manipur and all these people. So they've got legitimacy and credibility in that sense in making this kind. So there was a lot of confusion. I must say there was a lot of confusion when the Jeevan Reddy report came out. And it just shows you how powerful the state is in terms of ideology and its capacity to co-opt. It can take the most radical person. Tomorrow you'll find Colin, saying radical stuff and being co-opted. That's the power of the state. To co-opt the most radical minds, the most articulate minds. And so it's very important when you come to security issues. Even if you are ultra suspicious, it's a very good thing as far as these governments are concerned and this army is concerned. I don't think there's any hope, I don't think there's any hope in this country that AFSPA will ever be removed. If it is removed, it will be replaced by something else. We are in a period of terror. It's a national period of terror. We are in a period of state violence, extreme state violence. We always had violence, but this is extreme state violence, institutionalized state violence. And then of course you have people saying we should have army rule and this kind of stuff, our middle class globalized students and everybody else, I suppose, everybody who believes, all this kind of rubbish. So it's a very difficult period. Manmohan's case is a sort of little bit of a light in an otherwise very dark situation. And to get Chittamar to open that report and punish those 17 jawans who raped and killed Manmohan is not going to be an easy task. Thank you very much.
So now I would like to invite the audience to ask questions. And please refer your questions to whom. Okay. And there was a small announcement. Actually, CPDM has displayed 2 books here. So this is for contribution. So you can contribute some amount of money and buy it. Thank you. Yeah.
My question for Pratha actually, in some sense, it's also inevitably a question for Colin because both of you seem to be working within broadly what I can see as a similar framework, which is, Pratha, I'm wondering why you are locating your argument somewhat comfortably only within the logic of the liberal state. Why, for example, are you simply saying that by the logic and the letter and the spirit of a democratic state, AFSPA is an aberration, instead of saying why not question the state itself? And the formulation of the nation becomes central to question in the case of the Northeast, as of Kashmir, as of most areas where AFSPA is in place, right? So for me, the more important question, or to push your argument one step further, which is a step I'm wondering why you did not take, is to ask the question of why do we need the nation state, and why is it that any kind of protest against AFSPA only becomes then this kind of, within the logic of the state, a reactive statement saying, these are all your meticulous digressions, this is what you did which breaks the law, and so now please, redress it. So ultimately you are within the Manichaean logic of the state. Whereas if you, this is not simply a radical question at the level of some theoretical, buffoonery here. This is a question of really what is the Northeast in relation to the Indian state? What has it got to do with the Indian state? Nothing, actually. And it's what Arundhati Roy said in the context of Kashmir, it has gotten into hot water, which is Kashmir was never a part of India and India's imagination at all, actually. So why haven't you asked that sort of question in Murali?
Any other questions? Yeah.
See, I'm not. I think once you reject the idea of the citizenship of India, right, which many people do, and rightfully so, I think then the question of opposing ASPA is pretty much moot. That's why I started off the discussion by saying I'm addressing, the word in us that I interpolated at that point, where I'm talking about an us sitting in Delhi, majority who hold a passport or some kind of document saying citizen of India. So I think the idea to even move to that stage at a popular, broad level is in fact to expose the internal contradictions. I think it's the internal contradictions that leads to the break. And that's where I agree with Colin's pessimism about the state we are in. And in that sense, I think it's a battle for hegemony where I think you have to show the contradictions within in order to even move beyond it. If you're already outside, then I think, there's no need to convince you or have a discussion on why ASPA is problematic. That's why.